All right, well, this is pretty crazy. I didn't expect to come back and see this. I just refreshed on my phone just to see where HKD closed. I saw traders mentioning QRTEB and LTRPB, but yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just see where HDK or HKD finished, and I saw it's currently trading at $750 a share. It squeezed through 485 to 500, 538, up to 633, up to 659, up to 767, to a high of $966.02. It's almost unthinkable. This is the biggest move that I've actually ever seen in a stock in this short of a period of time. I've never seen something like this. Now, the reality is, this isn't, in my opinion, really tradable for the primary reason that the risk is just way too high. So I can pull up my P&L. Let's see. So I didn't trade in my margin account today, but I did trade in my retirement account, and I finished the day at a respectable $5,488.19. You know, that's daily goal. $5,000 is the daily goal. So that for me is a pretty good day. But, you know, this is pretty nuts. So if we, you know, the reason I wanted to keep an eye on HKD was because I already had drawn out this 485 level, and I had drawn out the 350 level pre-market. Right. So when I was doing the morning show, those levels I was already watching, we had this sell off. It popped back up here, and it looks like, you know, right here it came up and was like consolidation right under that level. Now I can pretty much guarantee you that the spreads are insane on it. So right now, for instance, you have a spread of 722 by 765. It's a pretty outrageous spread. You know, but there is a 200 share buyer there at 722, and there's a 600 share seller at 765. So those are real orders out there. It's up another 84% today. And basically it broke and just, you know, it just squeezed. It just went crazy. So, you know, it seems like there's probably a few short sellers out there that are trapped and got squeezed out and had no choice but to market out of this thing. And these would be the type of traders, you know, that would have shorted VRAX, you know, on day 3 or day 4 of the IPO and looking for it to drop all the way back down here. Or maybe the same short sellers who would have shorted ILAG on the IPO. And you know what? For all of these ones, it worked. You know, they came all the way back down. But this is a bear market short squeeze on HKD where some early short sellers got destroyed. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Like I said, I've never seen a move that big. But the volume today, so usually a day like today, if we consider this to be the blow off top, capitulation, just epic squeeze, let's switch to the 1 minute chart here. So squeezes up, halts once there at 38, goes higher, halts again, goes higher, halts again, closed regular trading hours at $767.03, and then squeezes after hours. But the squeeze after hours was on 3,000 shares on this candle, 400 shares on this candle, 1,200 on this candle, and 200 on this candle. So the thing is, market makers are really not providing, they're not making the market very well on this stock. They're not providing liquidity. But those of you guys who understand how market makers work, you would already, of course, know that they cannot, they're not going to sell an unlimited amount of shares by sitting on the ask and shorting. And they're not going to buy an unlimited amount of shares by sitting on the bid and buying. So they're just not going to provide liquidity for this type of stock, and it has the effect of amplifying the volatility. So, you know, this volatility is obviously pretty insane. And so let's look at a couple other stocks today. So HKD, I already did a recap. I'm going to upload that in just a little bit, so you guys will be able to check out my recap. But let's see. So afternoon, I'm going to look at top gainers. Okay, let's see. So after hours top gainers, and I'm just going to look at top gainers today. All right, so our top gainer today was QRTEB and LTRPB. Those were our two top ones. So LTRPB, this is a stock that did something very similar to what it did today. It's actually done it a few times. So first, it was back in 2020. There was one day where the stock went from like $8 to about $130, and it did it on 360,000 shares of volume. 360,000 shares of volume. That's not a lot of volume, and this thing went up that much. So at the time, I was like, I don't think I traded it, and I said, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's such a crazy move, but there's no volume there, So the spreads are crazy. There's no way I can really trade it. So, you probably don't end up trading it. The same as HKD, it's so risky. You probably don't feel comfortable trading it. Here's another day it went to 110, and so today this squeeze up to 85. It's not totally out of the norm for this stock. You would think that market makers would get better at making the market for it, but they haven't. This was Duo. This one did a similar move in one day, but this is adjusted for reverse split. So it's actually 150, went like maybe up to $100, and then it sold off, and then they did a 15 to 1 reverse split right back here. So anyway, so Duo was similar, and on that day it traded, the volume, it says 17,000 shares, but of course adjusted because of the reverse split. So it was like 200,000 shares of volume. There was like no volume on it. So that's not one that was tradable either. And so when HDK kind of started its move, I was like, yeah, it reminds me of these ones. We also had DICB. This was one. I think that was the stock. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So we've seen a few of these in the past. So today when we had HKD squeezing up, and even the last, the last few trading days, I've sort of been like, okay, well, this one's probably not tradable. I did buy one share of it earlier today just for the heck of it. Ended up losing on it. I can't believe I could have made like $400 if I had held it, but it's fine. It wouldn't have changed the day really. So the thing is, this can create MOMO or FOMO in the market. FOMO, MOMO, LTRPB. This thing starts squeezing at 11 a.m., 11:45, halts up, opens higher at 11:55, goes higher, and then who comes back? QRTEB. And you guys probably remember this one because we traded it last couple weeks ago, earlier in July. On this day, it squeezed from $3 to $8, but it wasn't phenomenal. And in any case, today it ended up, catching a bid around 12:15, hitting a high of 761, and then pulling back. And so, I kind of thought, all right, well, I don't know, don't think much of it. It's at that time, it was still below the 200 moving average, which was right around like $7, or it was right around that level. So it's just sort of like, I don't know, the last couple times it came up here, you had these topping tails. And, for what it's worth, at this point in the day, I had already, pushed my luck for sure. I'd gone red and then back to green and then back to red, then back to green, back to red for a third time, and then back to green. So anyways, I didn't trade it. It halts up 1, 2, 3, 4 times, halts down twice, bounces nicely off of VWAP, halts down again, halts up, gaps way higher on that halt up. Why did it gap so much higher on that halt up? I don't know. That was a huge gap. It halted up at 11:18 and it opened at like 12:50. So big gap up, surges through the highs, and then it halts down again. Opens higher, squeezes a little higher. Now you get a little bit of a 5-minute pullback setup. It goes higher up to a high of 1965, pulls back, does one of these stupid candles that I keep screwing up, where it squeezes up to 21.49 and then flushes and then halts down. And this is where it is now. So, you know, it's easy to say in hindsight that you would have made a ton of money on it. I'm sure that there's someone who traded this, that there's people out there, not just one person, but I'm sure there's people out there who traded this to the long side and still lost money on it. I was almost the guy who traded PGY to the long side and lost money on it. I mean, the problem with these, some of these candles is this just brutal rejection, like up here, this kind of candle, and up here, you know, where it squeezes up and then flushes like $2 a share. These are really nasty candles. And I got caught on one on Getty today. I got caught on one on PGY. You know, but fortunately I was able to stay in the green. We had a really bad one on MGAM today as well. But this one really sold off pretty hard today. In any case, this candle right here on MGAM, this red candle, oh my God. I mean, this is terrible. Having that candle has a high of $20.74 and a low of 18 bucks. It's like a three-point candle. It's huge. 3-point candle. I mean, it's just, that's very difficult. And then this flush back down here. So I sort of felt like, you know, I sort of felt like today there was a lot of FOMO in the market, fear of missing out from the big moves that we'd had on Friday. And now I'm wondering what tomorrow is going to give us because, you know, I don't know if traders are going to think the same way on this. Oh my gosh, I missed this move. But maybe they'll feel they missed QRTEB, which would have been, I suppose, certainly safer and easier than HKD. LTRPB, another one with such light volume, I don't think anyone probably should feel too bad about missing that one. LTRPB, there we go. You know, could it go higher tomorrow? Yeah, maybe. But you know, the thing with HKD was that it was a front, to me, the front side of the momentum being that it was a sort of recent IPO, and we've had these IPO setups that have been really, really strong. Now this has no business to me being at this price. It's going to come back down, and there's some short sellers that are trying to time that that drop, and it's not happening. It just keeps going higher, and the liquidity makes it very, very hard to cover and unwind a short position, and of course it would be hard to buy a long position also. Revlon, yeah, I see it. It's a big gainer today from 5 up to 10. I don't really think too much of it, to be honest. So anyways, we'll see what tomorrow holds for us. We definitely got more action today than I was expecting, but it wasn't the easiest day by any means. Just, you know, felt pretty crazy. Just crazy action. So we'll see what tomorrow holds for us. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, but just wanted to come on here and be the first to tell you, if you didn't already know, that HKD hit a high of $966.02. What a move. That is a epic squeeze. I mean, that's just, regardless of the fact that it's low liquidity and it's not really tradable, the fact that a stock went up that much is pretty crazy. So we'll definitely save that one to add to the classes, and we'll see what tomorrow has in store for us. All right, that's it for me. So take it slow, and remember, as always, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money. My results are not typical, but I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. So I'll see you then.